Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and it'll reduce your skill-based matchmaking, because you just might need it if you're kind of new to these games. But maybe you won't need it with the addition of these heavy machine guns. A couple of days ago I did not know exactly why they were calling this the high caliber update, but it's becoming much more apparent to me now with the introduction of this new update article, which explains the fact that we will now be getting heavy machine guns in Enlisted. These basically are better versions of the light machine gun emplacements that you could make with engineer kits, considering that these guns are sporting a 12.7mm machine guns that can apparently pierce through several enemy soldiers, tear the wings off of aircraft, and even shred through the armor of light tanks, or SPAAGs, which is basically those half tracks. And all of this can be done basically by controlling your infantrymen or using a combination of them, considering the fact that you will have to use an engineer to build the emplacement, but the only people who will be able to operate these heavy machine guns will be people in your gunner squad. Luckily, it doesn't necessarily matter which level your gunner is. It can be a level 1 or a level 2 gunner, but basically you will definitely have to have an engineer and a machine gunner in both of your squads to reap the benefits of this new addition to the game. Of course, these heavy machine guns will be stationary, and you know, when it comes to the actual benefits of these in comparison to the light machine gun emplacements that we can already make, you will notice that not only will they have more firepower, they will also be noticeably stronger. So if they get shot or the enemy is shooting at your machine gun, it will take a couple of more bullets to actually destroy it and knock it off of the sandbags. Not only that, they will overheat slower and they will cool down faster when you are actually firing them. So basically your sustained fire will be longer. The most important benefit of these heavy machine guns definitely will have to be the fact that they will have a larger turning radius. But that brings me into the, debating side of this video that I wanted to chat with you guys about. So I understand what they're trying to do with these heavy machine guns is basically making it so that you are required to have engineers in your squad, and you are also required to have machine gunners in your squad, which basically gives your soldiers specializations more meaning, which I personally think is a good thing, and I think they should always try to do more of that with the game. The more unique and special your soldiers feel, the more use you will have for having bronze and silver orders, which, for me as a high level player, I find very often that I am sitting on these and I don't have a reason to use or spend them. But if I can make a heavy machine gun emplacement in all of my squads, because I typically carry an engineer in all my squads anyways, it'll just give me more reason to have machine gunners in my squad as well, and it'll give me more incentive to try and keep my machine gunners alive, because normally I would just use these guys more often than any of my other soldiers and just kind of run headfirst into the battle with them because they have the best kind of weapon. But maybe I'll play a little more reserved with these guys now, especially on defense, considering that's when I feel the heavy machine guns will be the most useful, especially if you're going to use them to shoot down airplanes and destroy light tanks, which I think is also a very nice feature to incorporate with these machine guns, because not everybody wants to go out of their way to carry a bomber in their squad as well. And yes, you could just use the explosive pack, which I think is also equally as effective for destroying tanks. But when it comes to aircraft, depending on how fast you can make the heavy machine guns in comparison to how fast you can make the anti-aircraft guns, we're just going to have to see which one will be more useful for actually shooting down aircraft. But they're both going to have wide angles of looking around in comparison to the light machine guns. So again, I think this is a very good comparison and benefit when it comes to light machine guns versus heavy machine guns. What I don't understand, or what I'm kind of like complaining about, I guess you could say, is why is it that the heavy machine guns can get a wider field of view but the light machine guns can't? One of the main things that I've been complaining about for multiple videos now, talking about these machine guns, or I guess the emplacements you should say, is the fact that you can only look so many degrees to the left or right, especially when you're making the light machine guns, which really limits the usability of those. And then for you to just come in and say, oh well, We can mitigate that by making heavy machine guns, and you can look further to the left and right or up and down with those, but we're not going to do anything about the light machine guns. That doesn't really make any sense to me. And yeah, I mean, there's still some time before this update comes out, so just logically speaking, it would make a lot more sense if you guys would increase the turning radius for the light machine gun emplacements as well, because now you're basically making them obsolete. Not only do the heavy machine guns overheat slower, and they're more durable, and they're more powerful, you can look further around, you can look further to the left or right with them. Now I gotta ask, what is the point of using the light machine gun emplacement at all, especially if it's weaker and they can destroy it easier? So I think they should have, you know, went a little more in depth explaining the difference, or the cons, I guess you could say, of using the heavy machine guns, because right now it's looking like it's straight pros. And not that that's a horrible thing in the grand scheme of the game, but you're kind of making the light machine guns, or I guess the emplacements, kind of pointless. But in the same respect, you're making engineers and machine gunners more useful as well. So I don't know if that's just like a trade-off that you guys are willing to accept, but it was one of those things that kind of perplexed me, and, you know, made me wonder like what the ideology or what the thought process was here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to gauge you guys about that as well. Like, what do you guys think about, you know, these heavy machine guns in general, and what do you think about the fact that they are absurdly better than the light machine guns, to the point where I'm kind of debating, like, what's the point of even building one at all? When this update comes out, you might as well make heavy machine guns only and just leave it at that. I also am kind of happy that they're including the 50 cal and the MG131, and, you know, all the other iconic heavy machine guns that have been in use throughout World War II, or since World War II, I should say, because I have been, you know, wondering why those haven't been in the game. But still, you don't have to make 30 cals and other lighter machine guns obsolete to do so. That's just my opinion on it, but I do want to know what you guys think about it. Let me know down in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed something new. I already posted a little post about these heavy machine guns yesterday, but I just wanted to kind of discuss it with you guys as well, because it's still a little confusing to me and a little perplexing. So, you know, like I said, let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay, learned something new if you didn't see my post already from yesterday, keeping you up to date with all the Enlisted news, and hopefully you guys aim for that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and Black Guy out.